Doug, I want to tell you this is a heck of a culture paper. It's very well written. I appreciate good writing, and very fine job. You should write a book just telling stories, because this Pickleville, that's too much to believe. Obviously, they didn't keep the name, huh? I mean, to be Mr. Pickle, I think you could have made a fortune out of that. Probably somebody would have established a pickle factory of some sort in the town. Obviously, being in the Coast Guard, you write a lot about water, and Cambridge has a huge history of water here. I like the paddle boat. I would never guess that you had a waterborne dance floor on the boat, and the history of water, almost like seafaring, and it has a huge impact on the town. Obviously, the philanthropy is a very consistent job that a theme that people did help other people. A U.S. senator, I didn't know about this. Senator Butler, I guess there was. I have to look that one up. But people being very entrepreneurial, especially in that town, which created a great deal of money. I mean, you have the beef industry, you have Kool-Aid, you have pharmacists, you have a U.S. senator. That's a lot to come out of a small town. Very impressive. And that you yourself, you know, the descendants, and people did not abandon the town, just everybody moved to Chicago. They actually decided not to. So they came back and they remembered their town, they helped people. It's an interesting theme. That's one thing I've noticed about, I see the murder thing at the end. I'll have to look that up. That's weird. Okay. I just think this is very interesting, how this whole thing, I mean, other than murder at the end, that was the only black mark. But I was just very interested in how all this, how you wrote this up, and you did a great job. It's a good read. I would never guess Cambridge has such a deep and interesting history to it. So I would like to thank you. Thank you for this very enlightening paper. I have to say, this is probably the best written paper I've read in many years. So I appreciate that. And it shows a very important aspect of what I've noticed in Nebraska, and a lot of places in Nebraska, is a real devotion to helping others, which I can tell you that is not that common in other states. I lived in Oklahoma, I lived in Missouri, and I can tell you it doesn't run quite, it's nothing like Nebraska. There's something about it, and it reminds me, maybe it's because of the European ancestry, but people came here in the late 1800s, and they had certain dedication and principles that they fostered in generation after generation. I didn't see that in my family going back ancestry wise. Everything was pretty much chaos, and I don't want to say Nebraska is unique, but it certainly has a culture to it that I like. I may not like some of the conservative aspects of it in some ways, but I respect the values, and I don't see those reflected in a lot of other places. So it impressed me reading about it. So I thank you. Thank you very much for this paper. It's an A++ in my book.